2024 has been an incredible year for movies, with blockbusters like Deadpool and Wolverine, Inside Out 2, and Despicable Me 4. However, not every film found success at the box office. Some, like The Fall Guy and Abigail, earned critical praise but struggled to attract audiences, while others, like Drive Away Dolls, fell short both critically and financially. Many films that had franchise potential or high expectations failed to deliver. Here's a list of 2024's biggest disappointments. So, the 10th box office flop we had high hopes for in 2024 is Argyle. Argyle follows reclusive spy novelist Ellie Conway, Bryce Dallas Howard, whose best-selling books about Agent Argyle, Henry Cavill, unexpectedly mirror real espionage activities. This draws her into the world of covert operations, where she meets Aidan Wilde, Sam Rockwell, the man behind her inspiration. The film flopped with critics and audiences, earning a 33% Rotten Tomatoes score and grossing just $96 million globally against its $200 million budget. Its downfall was largely due to a disjointed third act that leaned into silliness, alienating viewers and generating poor word of mouth. And the 9th box office flop we had high hopes for in 2024 is Drive Away Dolls. Drive Away Dolls, set in 1999, follows lesbian best friends Jamie, Margaret Qualley, and Marion, Geraldine Viswanathan, as their road trip to Tallahassee takes a chaotic turn when they get entangled in a criminal plot. Directed by Joel Cohen, the film received mixed reviews. Critics gave it a 63% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but audiences were far less impressed, rating it 36% rotten. Many viewers found the comedy lacking, with slow pacing and few laughs. Though the exact budget is unclear, estimates suggest it cost around $20 million, making its $7.9 million global box office performance a significant disappointment. And the 8th box office flop we had high hopes for in 2024 is Madame Web. Madame Web follows Cassandra Webb, Dakota Johnson, a Manhattan paramedic who gains clairvoyant powers tied to the spider world after a car accident. Reluctantly stepping into the hero role, she teams up with 3 other superpowered women, Julia Cornwall, Sydney Sweeney, Anya Corazon, Isabella Merced, and Mattie Franklin, Celeste O'Connor, to take on Ezekiel Sims, Tahar Rahim, who seeks to eliminate them to secure his future. Despite its intriguing premise, Madame Web flopped with an 11% Rotten Tomatoes score. Its failure stemmed from a confusing plot, weak dialogue, poor marketing, and negative word of mouth. While the $80 million film grossed over $100 million globally, marketing and distribution costs left the studio with a financial loss. And the 7th flop on our list is Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 1. Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 1, directed, produced, and co-written by Kevin Costner, marks the beginning of an epic Western trilogy. Known for his expertise in the genre, Costner also stars in this ambitious tale, which spans 15 years around the Civil War and the westward expansion of the United States. Despite its star-studded cast and grand scope, the film received mixed reactions. Critics were unimpressed, giving it a 48% score on Rotten Tomatoes, while audiences were more favorable with a 70% rating. However, the film's 3-hour runtime and status as a new intellectual property made it a tough sell, contributing to its underwhelming $33.9 million global box office earnings against a $50 million budget. The lackluster performance has cast doubt on whether the second and third installments will ever make it to theaters. And the 6th box office flop we had high hopes for in 2024 is Lisa Frankenstein. Lisa Frankenstein follows a misunderstood teenager who accidentally brings her crush, a dead guy, back to life, leading to a path of love, chaos, and body part hunting. Directed by Zelda Williams, Robin Williams' daughter, the comedy horror film had its charm, earning an 81% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. However, critics were less impressed, giving it a 52% score. Despite its positive reception, the film struggled at the box office, grossing under $10 million on a $13 million budget. Released during Super Bowl weekend alongside Argyle, it faced stiff competition and quickly faded from theaters. And the fifth box office flop we had high hopes for in 2024 is Monkey Man. Monkey Man follows Kid Dev Patel, a man struggling to survive by participating in underground fights, wearing a monkey mask inspired by the Hindu deity Hanuman. He seeks vengeance against the man responsible for his mother's death, battling through intense action and brutal combat. Patel made his directorial debut with Monkey Man, also co-writing the screenplay. Despite earning an 89% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes and good word of mouth, the film underperformed at the box office, grossing only $34 million against its $35 million budget. The film's flop is largely attributed to a poor marketing campaign that failed to generate widespread interest. And the fourth movie on our list is Fly Me to the Moon. Fly Me to the Moon is a romantic comedy set in the 1960s space race, starring Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum as a marketing expert and NASA director navigating a blossoming romance. The plot centers on NASA's Apollo 11 launch and a plan to stage a fake moon landing as a backup. Despite a hefty $100 million budget, the film flopped at the box office, earning only $37.7 million globally. Critics gave it a decent 65% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but its lackluster script, weak marketing, poor opening, and historical inaccuracies likely alienated audiences. And the third box office flop on our list we had high hopes for in 2024 is Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. The fifth installment in George Miller's post-apocalyptic franchise serves as a prequel focusing on Furiosa's Anya Taylor-Joy backstory. Despite its stellar action, characters, and acting, the film underperformed at the box office. Holding an impressive 90% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, it still failed to attract audiences. With a hefty $168 million production budget, it needed around $400 million to break even, but only grossed $172 million worldwide. The film's weak marketing, disappointment over Charlize Theron not reprising her role, and the 9-year gap since Fury Road likely contributed to its commercial failure. And the second flop movie on our list is The First Omen. The First Omen explores the origins of Damien, revealing how he was swapped with another child and raised by an American diplomat to become the Antichrist. Set in Rome, the film follows a woman who uncovers the dark conspiracy behind his birth. Serving as a prequel to the 1976 classic The Omen, it provides the backstory behind the demonic child. Despite offering a detailed explanation of the conspiracy, the film underperformed at the box office. With a $30 million budget, it grossed only $50 million globally. Its failure is attributed to a weak script and the franchise's long absence, as the last installment was in 1991, making The First Omen feel more like an attempt to revive the series than a fresh addition. And the last box office flop we had high hopes for in 2024 is The Watchers. The Watchers, a supernatural horror film starring Dakota Fanning, Georgina Campbell, Olwen Fouere, and Oliver Finnegan, follows Mina Fanning, an artist trapped in the Irish wilderness with 3 strangers, all hunted nightly by a mysterious creature. Directed by Ishana Night Shyamalan in her debut and produced by her father, M. Night Shyamalan, the film bears his stylistic influence. Despite its intriguing premise, The Watchers struggled with critics, earning a 32% rotten rating on Rotten Tomatoes. With a $30 million budget, it needed $60 million to break even but only managed $33 million, making it a box office failure. So, which 2024 movie Did you never expect to be a box office flop? Tell us in the comments section. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to this channel.